Hello, welcome to Oceanic Oracle. My name is Ari and today I'm going to be going through my November TBR. So this November I'm going to be taking part in technically 2 readathons, but they're not like really intensive. I'll put the links to these readathons up in the corner. One of them is the Royal Readathon and one of them is Believathon. So I have books that fit all those prompts, as well as a few others that I want to read but aren't on the list, so there's that. I'll start off with the Royal Readathon and give you a brief description. It's a readathon inspired by Disney. This year the theme is fairies, so you've got famous Disney fairies and each of them is a prompt. I guess I'll start off with the prompts for like the Royal Readathon. The first prompt that we have is for Tinkerbell, the lovely Tink, and the prompt associated with her is keep the story alive, reread a book, because when you think of fairies you have to keep believing in them. So the reread that I've selected is, and this shouldn't really be a surprise if you've seen my weekly vlogs, is Six of Crows. So this month I'm actually going to be rereading the Six of Crows duology, as well as another duology which I have in my pile, but nothing like starting off the month with Six of Crows. This is one of my favourite like fantasy heist stories of all time. If you want Ocean's 11 in a book, and but like we're way cooler because you've got magic and stuff, that's what Six of Crows is. This is a YA book and it's written by Leigh Bardugo. This is the next book in the Grishaverse and I'm doing my giant reread of all the Grishaverse books. So I'm gonna read a brief description. So, criminal prodigy Kaz Brecker has been offered a chance at a deadly heist, break into the Ice Court to retrieve a hostage whose knowledge could change the Grisha forever. The Grisha in this world are they're like witches and wizards, I guess, but they're a lot cooler. I am really excited to pick this up again and relive the heist. Like, this is one of my favourite books of all time. I'm looking forward to reading it. Can't wait. The next prompt in the Royal Readathon is for Flora. She is one of the 3 fairies in Sleeping Beauty. She is the pink fairy, I guess. She gives Sleeping Beauty the gift of beauty. The prompt for Flora is a cover buy, so something that you thought looked beautiful. And I've decided to pick up Thorn. This for me was definitely a cover buy, but I also really like the idea of the story. I just think this cover is beautiful and I'm looking forward to picking this up. I picked this up in the summer, but I didn't want to start it because it really felt like a autumn/winter book, so I'm going to pick that up now. It's about a princess who wants to escape the confines of her royal life and she gets an opportunity to run away, so she does. I'm looking forward to picking it up. I believe this is inspired by The Goose Girl. If you've read that fairy tale, I have not, or at least I don't remember being told that story. I'm looking forward to reading this because I know absolutely nothing about the source material. There you go. The next prompt for the Royal Readathon is for Fauna, the lovely green fairy from Sleeping Beauty, and the prompt for her is a book with a fixer-upper character. I think the book I'm going to show you has a fixer-upper character because it's about like a hate-to-love situation, and I think this sort of counts in that aspect, and it's because of Miss Bridgerton by Julia Quinn. I picked this up in September and I'm excited to read it. I believe it's about it's a prequel to the Bridgerton series, which I have read, and I'm interested to see where the story starts, I guess. I believe Julia Quinn wrote this after she wrote all the Bridgerton books, so I'm interested. It's about Miss Bridgerton and her relationship with one of the Rokesby boys. I believe it's hate to love, and I believe Miss Bridgerton fixes up this guy, but I'm not sure. We'll see when I actually read it, but that's what I think. Now on to the third and final fairy from Sleeping Beauty, the lovely Merryweather. The prompt for Merryweather, because she's confrontational, is to read a book featuring a disagreement or a fight, and I believe King of Scars fits that. So this is the start of the King of Scars duology by Leigh Bardugo. You're going to see quite a few books by Leigh Bardugo in this in this TBR. So King of Scars is about the prince of this country the Prince of Ravka, and it's about him taking back control over his country after it's been struck by war. I believe that there's a divide between the people and he needs to reunite all of them. We're also getting points of views from one of the generals in his army and a spy who it features in Six of Crows. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. I'm sure there's going to be confrontation in here. I'm sure there's going to be disagreements in here. So there we go. I think this will work for my Merryweather prompt. The next character in the Royal Readathon that there's a prompt for is Genie. And Genie's prompt is found family because he is part of Aladdin's found family. So for that prompt, I put Crooked Kingdom down because I want to read the duology. I just decided to put this down. This is definitely a found family trope book. This is the sequel to Six of Crows, so if you haven't read Six of Crows, don't pick this up. And it's about what happens after the heist and where these characters go. This features found family trope, and I can't wait to finish my reread of this. Last but not least, in regards to the Royal Readathon, is the prompt for Fairy Godmother. Fairy Godmother's prompt is read a book with a classic storyline. So it could be a classic, it could be a fairy tale retelling, it could be a mythology retelling. So I decided to pick up the original hate to love story, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I've read this book quite a lot and it's one of my absolute favourites of all time. So I'm looking forward to picking it up again. This is the wonderful Barnes & Noble edition. My sister got it for me, I think in 2015 for Christmas. And I can't wait to pick it up. This is the classic hate to love story. You probably know the basic storyline and the basic plot. But I really like this Jane Austen story. And I'm looking forward to reading it again. It's just what I need this time of year. I just need something cozy, and that's what Pride and Prejudice gives me. So there we go. So those are all my books for the Royal Readathon. So I only have 6 prompts, which is good because I don't know how much time I'm going to have this month. But I'm also going to be taking part in Believathon. Believathon is hosted by How to Train Your Gavin. I'm going to link that up here. And it is a middle grade readathon. The only thing you have to do, the bare minimum you have to do this month is read one book that fits a prompt card that you draw at the beginning. If you go to How to Tame Your Gavin's video, announcement video, he has a link to all the Believathon cards, and you can go through and you can either print them off if you want to have them physically. But for me, I just did a random number generator and I was generated with the number for the prompt that I was given. There are 30 prompts in total, and the prompt that was randomly selected for me was prompt number 9, which is read a book featuring water. I'm only going to read one book because I don't really have much middle grade that I haven't read, so I decided to pick up Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan. This is a middle grade book, and I believe there's underwater adventures going on because we've got some scuba divers on here, plus a submarine. So seems pretty water heavy to me. I'm looking forward to picking that up. I'm assuming I'll go through this quite quickly. I can't wait to read it. I'm looking forward to a new Rick Riordan book. Those are all my readathon books, with prompts that fit readathons. I still have 2 books that I want to read in November that I haven't included because they don't really fit into the prompts. One of them's a YA book and one of them is an adult book, so don't really fit in. But I guess I'll finish off with the last Grishaverse book that I have on my list, and that is Rule of Wolves. This is the sequel to King of Scars. It's another duology, and this follows the plotline of King of Scars. I'm not sure, I don't want to go into it knowing exactly what's going to be about because I'm probably going to spoil King of Scars. But this is the sequel. This was really hyped up at the beginning of the year, and I'm hoping that this duology fills my Grishaverse heart. I'm looking forward to it. That is one of my other books I want to read in November. The last book that I want to read during the month of November is The Cat Who Saved Books. This was translated from Japanese to English, and it's about a young boy whose grandfather dies, and his grandfather runs this bookshop, and this boy really loves books. And one day this cat turns up when he's grieving, and they go to different worlds, I believe, and they try to save books. I'm looking forward to reading it. It sounds like a really nice book for me to read this time. I'm expecting to get hurt. I don't know why, but I'm expecting to feel things. I'm looking forward to picking that up. Turns out I actually have 2 more books because I completely forgot about my e-reader. So I have, one of them is Dance of the Burning Sea. I read the first book in this series, I believe it at the end of August, and I really enjoyed it. It's a fantasy romance. It's about these 3 sisters at its core, and this one is about the middle sister who is a dancer. So the first one was Song of the Forever Rains, and it was about the youngest sister who was really adept at singing. This one is about the middle sister and her ability with dance, and it's another fantasy romance story. I believe it features a pirate type, think Killigan from Once Upon a Time vibes. It's going to be about this dancer and her relationship with this man, and I'm excited. I can't wait to see where it goes. I really enjoyed the first book, so hopefully I'll enjoy the second. Finally, the last book that I have on my list is We Hunt the Flame. I have been wanting to read this book for a while, and finally I'm getting the chance to do it. This is an enemies to lovers story. That's all I really know about it. It's enemies to lovers, it's fantasy. I believe it's young adult. I'm not 100% sure, it could be new adult, but we'll see when I actually get around to it. I'm looking forward to picking it up. I cannot wait. I've just been in the mood for fantasy romances recently, so as you can see, quite a lot of fantasy on my plate. Those are all the books that I want to read in the month of November. Hopefully I'll have time to read them all, but we shall see, won't we? I will be vlogging my experiences. I am doing separate vlogs for my rereads of the Grishaverse, so Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom will be in one vlog, and King of Scars and Rule of Walls will be in one vlog. So if you're interested in my spoilery thoughts, you can check out those vlogs. I am going to be doing weekly vlogs as well, which won't go into detail, so I won't be spoiling stuff, just in case you're worried about that. So I'll just be updating you with my overall feelings as opposed to going in depth with the characters. That's it for November. If I finish all of these, I'm sure I'll find something else to read. I believe there's going to be quite a few Christmas related things coming out soon, which I'm excited for. There's going to be lots of Christmas stuff, I believe, released in November, so I might be able to pick up some of those and get in a holiday mood, because Christmas is my favourite holiday. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe if you want more bookish content. If you've made it this far in the video, please leave me a comment telling me what book you're looking forward to reading the most in November. Maybe you have something that you think would fit these prompts better. Hopefully these books match the prompts, so I won't have to read more. But yeah, I hope you have a great day or night, depending on when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!